Okay, good to go?
Yeah, yeah, good to go, good to go.
So, Jonathan, or can I call you JV?
You can call me JV. Yeah.
JV, can you give us a potted history of how you came to be a cyclist and your career progression as a rider to the pro ranks?
Only if you tell me what a potted history means. No, I'm kidding. So let's see. I started racing bikes when I was about 12 years old. Finished dead last in my first race, but quickly moved up the ranks. Then started traveling around with the junior national team. And one of those races, I think when I was 18 or something, I was the Tour of Venezuela, and I finished second in that, and that led to a pro contract, and moved to Spain on a one-way plane ticket to live with a bunch of Russians that were going to race on a Spanish team when I was 19 years old. That's sort of the start of how my professional career started. As far as the team, I stopped racing pretty early. Actually, I retired when I was 29 years old, not quite 30. And at that point, really didn't actually want to have much to do with the sport at all. Kind of went off and did some stuff completely different. But little by little, you get dragged back in. And the guy who did most of the dragging really was my business partner now, Doug Ellis, who's the co-founder of this team. And in a lot of ways, he convinced me to come back into the sport, and so we started up Slipstream in 2005 and have been slowly chipping away at it ever since. I was, again, as a 19-year-old, living away from home for the first time. It was an intense experience coming into those first pro races. They were so much bigger. Everything was televised. Fans were all over the road. It was nothing like I'd experienced racing in the U.S. or even racing internationally. In the amateur ranks, it was just a totally different speed, totally different attitude. Just very cutthroat, very hard. Incredibly well known by the public. It was actually a pretty scary experience at first. Little by little, it took a long time. At first, the racing was over my head, and I was suffering a lot. But little by little, you got used to the helicopters overhead. You got used to the distance and the intensity and the speed of the races. There's really no way around that process other than just to stick it out. I think any first-year professional is intimidated by it, but there's really no way around it other than just to get over that and just to keep going. I'd say, well, there's a few, but really, for me, winning the team time trial in 2001 during the Tour de France was with Crédit Agricole. That would be my proudest moment, because that was a period in time in cycling where we all know that obviously doping was a major issue at that point in time, and to this day, I firmly believe, and everything I know says that team that was riding that year in 2001, that we were clean and straight as an arrow. And I can tell you that before that, I would have absolutely said it was impossible to win, the team time trial in the Tour de France with a team that was clean. Absolutely impossible. Ridiculous to even, attempt it. And we did. And so it changed around my beliefs on a lot of things, or at least it later on in life it made me think that at least there's room to dream.